Welcome back to First Take. You in the right place. Put a smile on your face. We're going to take a deep dive, so we're going to start with number 5, baby.
I already regret doing this video.
We're going with the Cincinnati Bengals. A lot of people are probably raising your eyebrows. Why? Joe Burrow can't stay healthy. But what history has told us, the 2 years that he has been healthy, Super Bowl appearance, AFC Championship game appearance. But let me go to the defensive side of the ball. They lost DJ Reader, but they brought in Sheldon Rankins, who was a monster for the Houston Texans. They lost last year a few guys in their secondary, safety position to be exact. But you bring back Geno Stone, second in the National Football League in interceptions. I see Mike T nodding. He on the same page. They also brought back Von Bell. So that's why they're number 5 on my list, is because Joe Burrow told everybody that the Super Bowl window is open as long as he's the quarterback. Now, let's move it on to number 4. Let's open up the door, baby. I'm going to break it down south for y'all. We're going with the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to start with their defense. What I love about their defense at all 3 levels: D-line, Justin Matabuki, 13 sacks last year. Linebacker position, Roquan Smith, 6 in tackles amongst the National Football League. And then they got the wild card at the safety position and Kyle Hamilton, the joker, the jack of all trades. He can blitz off the edge. He can cover slot receivers. He can cover your best tight end. He is a playmaker. He's dynamic. Now, let me go to the offensive side. What Lamar Jackson has now is something that he has never had since he's been in a Baltimore Ravens uniform. King Henry, the running back position. I'm talking about another closer, a guy that can take a lot off his shoulders and everything won't be on him to finish a game. So that's why I have the Ravens at number 4. Let's move on to number 3. Mike T, don't interrupt. Number 3, we're going with the Detroit Lions. Now, what was great about them this offseason is that they were very intentional on the defensive side of the ball. That's where they needed the help. They went and got Marcus Davenport. They went and also got another defensive lineman. But the secondary, they went and got a Super Bowl champion and Carlton Davis from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They made a trade. They went and drafted Terrion Arnold, and they got a slot corner in Amik Robertson. I like what Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes has done with this football team back in 2021. That's when they got there. The culture has been set. You talk about biting kneecaps, man, they biting shoulders this year. That's why the Lions are number 3 on my list. Let's go with number 2. What you gonna do, baby? We're going with the San Francisco 49ers, the team that has represented the NFC last year in 2023. Now, they have a little bit dysfunction right now. You have guys want a contract, Trent Williams, Brandon Ayuk, but don't let that waver. Don't let that waver you or mess with your thinking. This team is going to be able to contend year in and year out because, number 1, John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, but they have a quarterback. I call him Vanilla Vic, Brock Purdy. You've seen him in that game where he had to run and utilize his athleticism and get down there and make plays. That's why I got the San Francisco 49ers at number 2. And number 1, come on now. We talking about the standard in the National Football League, Patrick Mahomes. He's the standard, but they're returning so many guys back from their defense that made an imprint last year, which led them to be the second best defense in the National Football League. So I'm going with the Chiefs at 1, San Francisco at 2, the Lions at number 3, the Baltimore Ravens at number 4, the Cincinnati Bengals at number 5. Now, let me.
Okay. That's all I can take of this clip, man. I honestly, the whole time I was watching this, I was thinking to myself, am I going to post this clip? Should I just turn this off, man? It's late. It's about to be 2 o'clock in the morning. What am I doing with myself right now? But let's talk about this. As you guys all know, I am not a fan of lists. I'm just not the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I put teams in groups and tiers. That's how I do it. But I'm going to try my best to kind of do a hybrid now in terms of the tiers and the list. Because the fact of the matter is that you're going to not put the Houston Texans, the Green Bay Packers up there, but the Ravens and the Bengals, I think is absurd. And so if you forced me right now and said you had to pick a team, who do you think is going to win? And I'm just going to kind of look at it even to a degree, maybe like head to head. Who would you pick right now, a team right now? The Ravens or the Texans? I'd probably go Texans. The Bengals or the Texans? I'd probably go Texans. You said you have to pick the Packers or the Ravens. Bro, Jordan Love is for real. Probably going to go with the Packers. The Bengals or the Packers? Can Joe Burrow stay healthy? I have no idea at this point. It breaks my heart to say it. I want him to be healthy, but I have no idea. I'm going with the Packers. So the fact that the Texans and the Packers aren't there is crazy to me. I think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to be absolutely legit this season. There's no way that you're going to convince me that, especially if they're fully healthy, that with their new defense, their new offensive coordinator, with Saquon Barkley, who is an incredibly dynamic running back and just offensive player as a whole, that the Eagles aren't going to be significantly better. And they've done something that the Ravens haven't done, actually get to a Super Bowl. That matters. And that's why I would even put them ahead of a team like even like the Bengals, because he says, oh, the Bengals will get to an AFC championship game and a Super Bowl and they're healthy. It wasn't necessarily pretty, especially even in the Super Bowl. I wouldn't say particularly that that was a great game for the Bengals and Joe Burrow in the Super Bowl. I know the Eagles didn't win, but Jalen Hurts absolutely positively balled out. They lost to the dynasty of the Kansas City Chiefs. That's just going to happen, man. That's just going to happen. So those are the three teams off the top of my head that I'm just like, how are they not there? And I'm sure I'm missing a couple other teams. And I don't want to go down this list too hard. But those are the first three teams that I'm just like, what? How? Like, no way. And that's why I don't like lists. Because it implies that I'm 100% saying the Ravens are so much better than, the Texans or whatever, or vice versa. And it's not necessarily what I'm saying. Because especially because you have to let the season unfold, see what health looks like, strength of schedule, how are these games being played, what do the offenses look like. But if we're going to try to play this game a little bit, this very incredibly obnoxious game, I may add, I just look at it where I try to do it very knee-jerk, where it's just like you have to pick a team right now. You have to think, who do you think will play better? Who do you think will have a better season this year? The Bengals or the Texans? And I'm like, I got to go with the Texans. The Packers or the Bengals? I got to go with the Packers. And I do think that the Ravens will be legit, and I do think that the Bengals can be legit. But the Bengals are just too much of a question mark for me. Joe Burrow just can't stay healthy. And the Bengals defense was absolutely horrendous. And I need to see them get significantly better. I need to see it before I can just assume it's going to be better. And the Ravens need to know how to play tight, competitive football, winning football when it matters most. I'm not going to just assume that anymore. I'm just not going to assume that the Ravens will be able to get that job done. I'm just not. I got burned by that. I think they can, but I don't trust the coaching staff. I believe Lamar Jackson can. I think Lamar Jackson is great, but I don't know how much I believe in that coaching staff personally. So those are question marks to me. I believe in what the Texans are doing. I believe in that coaching staff. I believe in what the Packers are doing. I believe in that coaching staff. I believe in what the Eagles are doing. I believe in Kellen Moore is going to get that offensive going. I believe in A.J. Brown, Devontae, Goddard, Saquon, Jalen. I believe in that offensive line. I believe in the draft picks that they got and the way how they've been able to also free agency moves to boost up that defense that was not so good for them. I believe in Fangio. That to me is why I'm putting those teams up there. And I'm not just going to say, yeah, Ravens and Bengals, absolutely. It just doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. Of course, the Chiefs, the 49ers, the Lions, yeah, they deserve to be in there. But the 49ers, I think, are incredibly fragile. Will Brandon Ayuk actually sign with the 49ers? If he's not with the 49ers, I think it will absolutely hurt the 49ers. I don't think it just means that they're going to fall off a cliff as I smashed my mic. Sorry if that was loud. I apologize. But it definitely will change things for sure. And if he somehow, for whatever reason, continues to play and he doesn't have that contract, I mean, oh my God, I think that can get real messy. But I do think Harry said, oh, the 49ers will be great for years to come. Yes, but they're going to be fragile for years to come. because you're having players that are older who are very injury prone. Kittle, Debo, Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey's already dealing with a calf injury. That's the problem. It's there's that fragility there. That if they're all healthy, then the 49ers are absolutely a top team. Shanahan, Purdy, all those weapons. My God, right? That's brutal. So I'm not knocking the 49ers, but there's a fragility that makes me start to kind of feel a little uneasy about how unconditionally I can just say, oh yeah, they'll be there, right? The Chiefs, I can say, oh yeah, they'll be there. That's easy. 49ers, there's just, can they stay healthy? Is Brandon Ayuk going to be on the team? What does Brock Purdy look like this year? Can Christian McCaffrey stay healthy? Is he going to go down for 2-3 games? Debo always historically misses a few games. Does he happen to miss those few games when Christian McCaffrey also misses a few games and now the 49ers drop a couple games? Like and Brandon Ayuk's not there? Like that's when things can kind of pile up for the 49ers. So it's just all going to be interesting. But this Harry's A-list was, man, that was just a little bit too much for this 2 a.m. recording session. I think I learned my lesson of, trying to maybe make these videos not so late at night next time. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Harry's A-list, top 5 NFL teams? What do you think about what I was saying about throwing in the Texans, the Packers, the Eagles? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of, and I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.